Hi guys, it's Dr. O'Connor here at the end of a very long day, but I have a very important message that I want to make sure that I get out to you and all the people who have tuned in to listen. Every day, I always tell my patients, I tell my viewers, my family, my friends, the importance of eating a healthy diet and living a healthy lifestyle and making sure that you make the best food choices. It's readily obvious to understand that a bag of chips, a sleeve of cookies, that's not the best healthy food choice. But sometimes there are some foods out there that we're not really sure, is this healthy or isn't this healthy? And you got to figure out how we do that. How many times have you gone to the grocery store and you picked up an item and it says low fat or it says low salt or it says something that is pretty healthy and you're not really sure what it is? How many times have you picked up a bag of chips and it says 100-calorie chips and you've eaten a whole bag only to find out when you turn it around you've actually eaten 300 calories instead of 100 calories? All of these happen because we don't really read our food labels. And it's important to be able to do that. So I want to talk today about doing that same very thing. So on the Food and Drug Administration website, there's a great example of a food label, but for today, I have a healthy can of, well, not necessarily so healthy, but I have a food label from a can of soup that I want to share with everyone. So when you're reading your food labels, the first thing that you want to do is look at the top for nutritional facts. When you look at the top for nutritional facts, what you're going to see is the serving size. And the serving size in this can of soup says 1 cup. But the serving says 2 servings. So if you're like me or anyone else, you'd actually eat the whole can. So what you wind up doing is eating 2 servings instead of 1. So when you're doing that, you're actually doubling the amount of food, calories, and nutrients that you're taking in, but you're not really sure exactly what's in those food, calories, and nutrients, which is why you look at the food label. The next step you're going to look at is the calories. So when you're looking at these calories, you're going to have to really understand, it's important for them understanding the amount of servings, because that is the most important thing that's going to determine how many calories and how many nutrients that you're getting in this food product. So the calories in this food product says 120. So when you think you're just eating a can of soup and you're only getting 120 calories, think about the servings. There's 2. So there's 240 calories in this serving. The problem with Americans is that we're not getting the proper calories. We're not getting the proper nutrients. A calorie simply is a measure of the amount of energy that is produced by the food we take in a certain particular food or product. Those calories can come from fat, they can come from protein, and they can come from carbohydrates. As Americans, we're getting far too many calories for our energy needs, and that's when the weight gain occurs. So when you're looking at your calories, you want to make sure that you're getting not empty calories, but functional calories. So that's going to come from your next area where you're looking at your nutrients, your fats, your carbohydrates, and your proteins. And when looking at your fats, your carbohydrates, and your proteins, that's where you're going to get your nutrients from. And if you can see, I'm going to put this pretty much up close for you. The first one has the total fat, trans fat and saturated fat. That's something we as Americans get far too much of. The trans fat and the saturated fat is what's really driving force behind a lot of the heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, and some cancers. So when you're looking at your food label, you want to make sure that that's something that is less and low. So a quick guide for looking at calories is if you have a low-calorie food, that's about 40 calories. If it says it's 100, that's a moderate calorie food. If you have about 400 calories, then you're looking at a pretty high calorie food, and that's something that you want to avoid. The next segment looks at your nutrients and your vitamins and your minerals. So When you're looking at vitamin A or vitamin C, you want to see if you're getting enough vitamin C, because that's going to happen. That's going to help with the osteoporosis. The fiber in this is 2 grams of fiber. Fiber is important, and that's going to help with bowel function. So you're looking at your nutrients and your fiber in terms of your food label, and that's going to help you decide what's going to be a healthy beverage for you, what's going to be a healthy food product for you, and to keep you on your weight loss goals. Additionally, when you get foods that are higher in fruits, vegetables, whole grain, that's what's going to help you to stave off those other types of diseases that we just spoke about. The last thing I want to show you on this is that there's this percent daily values. It's on the bottom of the can. How many people really read the percent daily values? It's important to understand the percent daily values because this is based on a 2,000 calorie diet. And the percent daily values will tell you how much of that percentage of the nutrient, the ingredient that you're having that's going to work toward your 2,000 calorie diet, so you'll understand how much you're getting. Now, I don't know if you can see the can or not, but if you look as closely as I can, this has a percent daily value of 8% of fiber. You want to have at least 20% daily value for something that's going to be high, whereas if it's something you don't want a good percent daily value, 5% is low. So the saturated fats have a 5% daily value. That's enough. You don't need to get any more than that from your food or from your beverage that you're going to be taking in. It's important to understand that these values are just a measure to be able to help you decide what's healthy and what's not healthy. When you have percent daily values, you're going to notice that on your can, there's not one for trans fat. And the reason there's not one for trans fat is because the Food and Drug Administration wants to make sure that you have as least amount of that as possible. There's also not one for sugar for the same reason. You want to have as least amount of that as possible. When you're talking about proteins, it's already understood that for the American diet, we have more than enough protein if you're an adult over the age of 4. So that's also not listed. But it's important to understand when you're reading these nutritional values, when you're reading your daily values, when you're looking at the fats, you're looking at the carbohydrates, you're looking at the proteins, these are the things that are going to make or break your diet. These are the things that are going to help you stay on your weight loss goal. So when you're in the grocery store, the most important thing is take a minute, pick up the item, flip it over, and look at it. Look at how much fat you're getting. Look at how much protein you're getting. Look at how much fiber you're getting. Look at how much vitamins, minerals, nutrients that you're getting. And this is what's going to make you a better shopper. It's going to make you a better consumer. And it's also going to make you have a better diet and a healthier diet. So just to recap, quick rule of thumb, when you're looking at your calories and you're counting your calories, anything 40 calories and under is a low-calorie food. And that's most likely your fruits, your vegetables. 100-calorie food, that's pretty moderate. When you get to 400, that's a very high-calorie food. For your percent daily values, you want something to be 20%. So when you're looking at your fiber, you want that to be 20% or more. When you're looking at your vitamin C, you're looking at your vitamin A. Shoot for foods that have 20% or more of that. And again, just so you know, this is based on a 2,000 calorie diet. Everyone has a different diet. Everyone has a different metabolism. It's important to speak with your primary care physician to arrange a good dietary plan for yourself. But the most important thing is when you're in the supermarket, stop for a minute. Don't just grab everything off the shelf. Look at them, compare labels. And another rule of thumb is when you're looking at your foods and you're in the supermarket, look at the ingredients, because the ingredients are going to be listed from the most concentrated to the least. And that's what's going to be important, because if you have them from the most concentrated to the least, you'll be able to tell whether or not there's a lot of sugar, whether or not there's a lot of fat, whether or not there's a lot of enriched white fiber. So you're going to, and the other thing that's important, I want to make sure you know, is if you can't read the ingredient, is it something you really want to eat? So reading your nutritional labels, reading the labels on your food is going to be extremely important in helping you with your diet. So this is what the nutritional labels look like. They're on every can. It is a law that the Food and Drug Administration has it on every package of food. These percent daily values, they don't change because they're for a 2,000 calorie diet. However, the amount of fat, cholesterol, sodium, carbohydrates, that's what's important. And if you look at this can, I don't know if you're able to see it out there at home, but the sodium has 790 milligrams. There's 790 milligrams of sodium. The average recommended daily amount is less than 2,400. Remember, this is 2 servings. So that's about 1,600 milligrams of sodium in one can. I haven't even had lunch, I haven't had breakfast, I haven't had dinner. If I just have this one can, I already got more than 60% of the recommended sodium. And that's going to cause high blood pressure. So it's important, I can't drive it home enough. Flip your packages over, flip your cans over, look at the labels, read, read, read. And if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate. You can contact me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. You can send messages to my website, www.lynnoconnor.md.com. I'd be more than happy to answer questions. If you have any ideas that you would like me to discuss on Facebook Live, please let me know. And if this information is very helpful for you, share it. Share it, share it, share it. Thanks so much.